Okay, so we made it to Friday. Here are Thursday's questions from Learned League recapped. If you don't know, Learned League is an online trivia league. It's 6 questions a day, and you play head-to-head against one other person at a time. It's that simple. It's great fun. If you want in for next season, do let me know. And play along here. Let me know how well you'd have done in today's set. I'll show the questions on screen. You can pause and see if you can guess before I reveal the answer and some follow-up. These are yesterday's questions from the game. It was day 4 of a 25-game season. I'm doing this every day because rest, to quote Leona Helmsley about paying taxes, is for little people. Question 1. The legendary Cypriot king who carved a statue of a woman so beautiful that he fell in love with it and eventually married her after Aphrodite turned it into an actual woman gives his name to what 1913 play? This question has a lot of extra information in it about something you may not have known. Most of the time when people talk about Pygmalion, they talk about it in connection with its writer, George Bernard Shaw, or the Tony and Oscar-winning Broadway musical it spawned, Mannequin. Okay, fine, My Fair Lady. Is Pygmalion the first modern reading of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl trope? I made you! I taught you the ways of the world! You must love me! But the fact that the name Pygmalion comes from the name of an ancient king of Cyprus who pulled this stunt on a statue? Well, that's cool. That adds to the lore. Question 2. What was the title of author Vikram Seth's 1986 novel written entirely in metered, rhyming 14-line stanzas about the popular culture and activities of a group of yuppies in San Francisco, hence the name? I am glad to see questions about authors who aren't based in New York or London. Let's open this world up a bit, okay? Vikram Seth is an Indian-born author who lives on and writes about the West Coast, went to Stanford for economics, and yet he isn't writing motivational or business books, and that's welcome. His debut novel, The Golden Gate, is written as 590 stanzas of a poem, and it was inspired by a similar story by Alexander Pushkin, Eugene Onegin, which is now considered a classic of Russian literature. It too is written in verse, and that seems ambitious. I've heard of Seth's follow-up novel, A Suitable Boy, which was one of those super long 90s guy novels every lit bro had on their shelf beside House of Leaves and Infinite Jest and Underworld. Look, I'm down for big sagas, but I just want to make sure you've edited out all the extra florid stuff before I go off to read this one book for the rest of my natural life is all. Question 3. What is the common name in English for the head of government of a Canadian province that is roughly equivalent to a US state's governor? This is very definitely a yuckioid question, but all you have to do is have a Canadian in your life and you'll know that a governor of a US state is analogous to a premier in a province. You never know when that's going to come in useful. Canada's political system is a hybrid between the British parliamentary system and the American tripartite setup. That's worth a deep dive if you truly love your Canadian friends. Question 4. The word for the part of a pistil in a flower that receives pollen grains during pollination can also be defined as a mark of shame or disgrace. What is that word? The sex organs of flowers? Not a huge list to remember, but it's a good one. The one thing you need to know about flowers is that they are constantly obsessed with getting down. Flowers are the horniest beings on the planet. Stamens are long and thin, and the tips are called anthers, and they're full of spores that need to get into the pistils of another flower where their ovules are. I shouldn't even be showing you this image. It's too saucy. Now, it's best when the flowers cross-pollinate because that strengthens the species, but they can pollinate themselves if that's the way to go. But the point of all this, and remember, holy cow am I oversimplifying this, is to get the spores from the anther to the stigma. You know who's good at getting this done? Bees! Oh, I gotta wash off. Question 5. Detroit-born brothers Brian and Eddie Holland played a sizable role in defining the Motown sound in popular music, most famously in close collaboration with what third songwriter and producer? If you have ever looked at the back of a record or CD or on the credits of a recording, wherever you find them, and if you listen to Motown at all, you'll be familiar with the writing and production team of Holland, Dozier, Holland. They wrote tons of stuff. Every Supreme song, every Four Top song, Please Mr. Postman, Heat Wave, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You, Stop in the Name of Our Love, Where Did Our Love Go, Baby Love, Reach Out, I'll Be There, Come See About Me, Nowhere to Run, I Can't Help Myself, Baby, I Need Your Lovin'. I could go on and on and on. And maybe I will. But last question first. What Chevrolet model, named after a bovid and first introduced in 1958 and reintroduced in 1994 and reintroduced in 2000, was the best-selling automobile in the United States during the 1960s? Have you never heard the word bovid before? Me neither. But it's close enough to bovine that maybe you have at least an idea of where to start with this one. Now, who would name their model of car after a cow? No one. That's the answer. No one. But, think just a little outside the box and a few possibilities start to show up. Cows have hooves. What other animals have hooves? Well, buffalo, bison, nope, deer. Okay, what kind of deer is also the name of an enduringly popular make of car? Caribou, reindeer, ibex, okapi, impala. Impala! See you tomorrow!